We're back on this Sunday morning Inside Tennessee, recapping Super Tuesday. All right, let's get to Law Director. Again, this is a face-off come August, but Don, what did you make of the primary results in this one on the Republican side?
Not surprised, I will say. I had a lot of talks with people within the current office, and they took Daniel Herrera very seriously, and I tried to gently suggest, yes, you should take every candidate serious, but I think you guys are going to be okay. And on Tuesday night, the vote certainly demonstrated that. They won by a 2-to-1 margin, and Daniel Herrera, he's not well thought of amongst the Republicans and thought less of amongst the Democrats, so it doesn't surprise me a bit.
David Buke, who is the current office holder, gave a rebuke of Mr. Herrera
this morning.
Just working on it, Susan.
Yes,
you heard it, and it was basically no more. We don't need you anymore in this party.
The interview that you all did with David on election night was, it was, you know, he's lost every race he's ever run for. It's time for him to fold his tent and go home.
And by home, he did not mean Knoxville.
Yeah, I don't think he meant Knoxville, but I think because, I'm guessing, because Daniel did send out some pretty negative stuff about David. And so I think he had a right to be a little bit peeved about it. So, but I mean, it was 61-38. It was a substantial.
Well, and I would think you would agree with me. Daniel's style of GOP politics is a little bit different.
It's scorched earth.
Oh, it's Trump bombastic.
Yeah, it's scorched earth.
Let's talk a little bit about this for people who just don't understand what the law director does and its importance in this community. It's a position we talk about a lot, John.
Yeah, it's a huge position. It is an elected position, which makes it an outlier in the state of Tennessee. Most have appointed professional, if you will, positions, but this one's elected. The law director's office opines and is asked to consider a lot of things in regards to county operations, including the school system.
And Don, to build on that point of John's, you've often said it's a conflicted position.
It is. I'll say that Daniel Buke and law directors before him have generally done a pretty good job in trying to manage the conflicts, but some of them are inescapable. When you have the sheriff versus the county mayor on a budget dispute, and you've got, you're representing both parties in the same piece of litigation, it really becomes difficult. And Daniel Buke's office has done a pretty good job.
David,
I do that all the time. David Buke.
You're collecting the Daniel Herrera.
David, you're a friend, Buke. And I apologize. It really. I've always said I think the school board should have their own lawyer separate from the county law director. The sheriff's department, heck, they have plenty of lawyers down there. And likewise with county commission having their own lawyer, much like Knoxville City Council has.
But John, you said it's an outlier in the state.
It's an extreme outlier. I'll be honest with you. I think we've had this put to the voters. Would you like this to be an appointed position or rather an elected position? And for whatever unfortunate reason they have chosen no. I shouldn't express my opinion. I think it ought to be an appointed professional job, but it ain't.
And I should express mine. It should be appointed. It should be appointed by the mayor, subject to approval by the county commission, and that way you can remove them at will if there is a problem.
As long as you have Republicans voting the majority in this county, you're going to have an elected law director.
David Buke is taking on Jackson Fenner in August. How do you shape up that race?
Well, I think in a countywide race, the Republicans start at an advantage. Jackson Fenner is a good candidate. He has run for several tough offices that were going to be, he ran against Sharm Allen. Sharm was entrenched. That was going to be difficult. David Buke is less well known than a Sharm Allen. And so if Fenner can find something to catch fire with, catch some traction, he could get in this race. He's a competent lawyer. I know him personally. I don't think there would be great change within the office, despite some of their platforms obviously espousing kind of what they need to espouse to appeal to each of their respective bases. But it's Buke's to lose at this point.
If Republicans turn out in August and you don't have Donald Trump on the ballot in August.
Well, he's going to be on your ballot, so.
Well,
not in
August. He won't
No, that's
be.
right. That's right. I'm sorry. November.
And so, they've got to get excited about these county commission races and school board races and that sort of thing and turn out. But I don't expect it to be a large turnout.
Yeah,
it could be a smaller turnout than we saw Tuesday night.
And strange things happen.
We're going to have Gloria on the August ballot, right? Will that energize Democrats?
It will. No question, Gloria has always energized Democrats, so that will help, and that could help somebody like a Jackson Finner. Again, if you take sort of the county norms with Butte starting 8 to 10 points up, just as a Republican within Knox County, you know, again, if very few people come out, it may only take another 5 votes, 9 votes, 12 votes to make a difference.
Well,
I don't think it'll be that close. But
what you will have in August are your state legislators, and if they're primary, some of them will be primary. Becky Massey, for instance, has a primary opponent. So I think you'll have pockets where you'll see a substantial turnout.
We're going to take another quick break on Inside Tennessee. Back to recap it all, and also we'll ask about name recognition. Did it matter on Super Tuesday, or didn't it? We'll answer it